Your boy's hyped. Your boy's hyped. Your boy is hyped. 2 times. 2 times. 2 times. My boy has been acquitted. 2 times. They're so mad. They're so mad. They're so angry. I mean, it's not like we didn't know that this was gonna happen. Like we knew he was going to be acquitted. You know what I mean? There's some people, I guess, in the conservative realm who are like, yeah, no, you shouldn't celebrate this because this trial shouldn't have taken place at all. Well, it's like, well, whatever. We're gonna celebrate it anyway. 2 times. 2 times. 2 times my boy has been acquitted. Acquitted. You can just hear the reeing. I can hear it. I can hear it from everywhere. It's so funny. I mean, Ted Cruz came out and said, I mean, guaranteed 100% he's not going to get convicted because you needed 61 votes. You didn't have them. They knew it. They knew they didn't have 61 votes. I have no idea why they thought this was going to go well. Because the argument that they put forth was garbage. They didn't even get to how he incited the riot. They just showed a bunch of videos of people doing dumb stuff, and then people went up there and they were crying, and then they were, crying their freaking, what is it? Those I know there's a word for it. It's not dinosaur tears. What is it? That's like the fake tears. I know there's like a saying for it. I just can't think of it right now. But they went up there, did their yelling and stuff, and they're lying per freaking usual. And freaking my boy David Shoen came with the receipts. He came with the receipts. He made them all look ridiculous. Everyone that went up there on the Democratic side that went up to put their evidence, he made them look like freaking, like, I mean, they didn't know what they were doing. Because if they did, they wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't have gone through with this entire sham of an impeachment. They wouldn't have done it. Because if they did their due diligence, they would have seen that they have no case at all. They have no case, but they have a psychotic, absolute psychotic hatred for Orange Man Bad. They do. It's like Donald Trump syndrome. Like, they can't get over the guy. But that's what they did. They went through with it, and it was garbage. Absolute garbage. I didn't really pay attention to the first one because I didn't really care. I paid somewhat attention to this one, but it was still garbage. They went up there doing the same rhetoric. Donald Trump is an insurrectionist. He incited the riot for saying literally everything a politician in the past has said ever. It's exactly what David Shoen did. It's exactly what he did. It's so freaking hilarious. So we're going to get to it right now. But I thought that was, oh my gosh. It was the funniest thing ever. And then, so you had David Shoen, and then you had Micheal Van de Veer. Both did an excellent job. Both tore into the Democrats. They just tore into them. He tore them a new one, for real. Like it's, for like normal people, I guess it's like not entertaining to watch stuff like this, but like for somebody like me, like watching this is just like, I was laughing. I was literally laughing. Like I was laughing, like it was just filling my soul with joy. It really was. So I mean, if you're not interested in stuff like this, I mean, of course you're not gonna laugh about it. But I thought it was freaking hilarious. I thought it was so freaking hilarious because it blew up in their faces. It really blew up in their faces. Just how AOC didn't think anyone would fact check what she was saying. the people that put this case forward, I don't know why. I literally don't know why. Excuse me. They didn't think anybody would fact check this. Like like you're going into a court case. Why do you think they wouldn't fact check what you're saying and or doing? Like, where is the logic? Where is the logic? I don't know. I don't think they have brains, honestly. I think they're kind of just like walking through life like sacks of potatoes with potato brains, and they kind of just say things, and it's hilarious. So welcome to another episode of the DB Talk Show. Alright, so first video that we're going to be getting into is David Shoen, and he's going to be putting forth, again, I don't know why they didn't think they would look this up or fact check this at all. I really don't. Like, it's potato brains, honestly. I really don't understand. But here's David Shoen going through some doctored evidence. And if this was a criminal case, this would be a lot more serious. The fact that these people created evidence. They created evidence. What? Like, this should, like, if you are a leftist, because there's a difference between leftists and liberals, but if you are a leftist and or a liberal and you still continue to have any sort of faith in what these people say, I think you're just beyond saving at this point, honestly. Because, like, how can you see something like this and just be like, yeah, those are the people I support. They create evidence when there is none. Here's David Shoen.
Here, of course, former President Trump was completely denied any such opportunity. And it turns out there is significant reason to doubt the evidence the House managers have put before us. Let me say this clearly. We have reason to believe the House managers manipulated evidence and selectively edited footage. If they did, and this were a court of law, they would face sanctions from the judge. I don't raise this issue lightly. Rather, it is a product of what we have found in just the limited time we have had since we first saw the evidence here with you this week. We have reason to believe that the House managers created false representations of tweets, and the lack of due process means there was no opportunity to review or verify the accuracy. Consider these facts. The House managers, proud of their work on the snap impeachment, staged numerous photo shoots of their preparations. In one of those, Manager Raskin is seen here at his desk reviewing.
Look at this man working hard. He's working so hard. He's there just, how am I gonna lie today?
Now, members of the Senate, let's look closely at this screen.
Oh
because
my gosh.
obviously, Manager Raskin considered it important enough that he invited the New York Times to watch him watching it.
Oh
now, what's
my
wrong
gosh.
with this image? Actually, there are three things very wrong with it. Look at the date on the very bottom of the screen on Manager Raskin's computer screen when we zoom into the picture. The date that appears is January 3rd, 2020, not 2021. Why is that date wrong? Because this is not a real screenshot that he's working with. This is a recreation of a tweet. And you got the date wrong when you manufactured this graphic. You did not disclose that this is a manufactured graphic and not a real screenshot of a tweet. Now, to be fair, the House managers caught this error before showing the image on the Senate floor. So you never saw it when it was presented to you. But that's not all. They didn't fix this one. Look at the blue check mark next to the Twitter username of the account retweeted by the president. It indicates that this is a verified account, given the blue check by Twitter to indicate it is run by a public figure.
Now, why would they do that?
The problem? The user's real account is not verified and has no blue check mark.
These people are lying to you. It's all they do is they lie. They're lying. You might say, "Oh, it's just a blue check mark." It's the fact that they are creating evidence when there is none. They are lying to you. These people lie to you, and you believe that they care about you. They don't. They don't care about you. They lie, as you can see.
Promise to call in the cavalry for January 6th. He expressly led you to believe that President Trump's supporter believed that the president wanted armed supporters at the January 6th speech, paramilitary groups, the cavalry, ready for physical combat. The problem is, the actual text is exactly the opposite. The tweeter promised to bring the Calvary, a public display of Christ's crucifixion, a central symbol of her Christian faith, with her to the president's speech, a symbol of faith, love, and peace. They just never want to seem to read the text and believe what the text means. You'll see this reported in the media last evening.
I absolutely love this. Like, both of them, both Micheal and David, they are up there, like, just tearing into them. Like, this is what I like to see. This is what I like to see. This right here is what, like, true people, true lawyers with balls. They go out there in front of all of them and are telling this to their face. Because you know for a fact that none of them are ever told they're wrong, ever. They're never told they're wrong. They're always told they're right. They're always told, "Oh yeah, you a pat on your back." But these guys go out there and they start tearing into them. I love it.
So much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong. We have come to demand that Congress do the right thing and only count the electors who have been lawfully slated. Lawfully slated. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
And we are going to walk down to the Capitol. They showed you that part. Why are we walking to the Capitol? Well, they cut that off. To cheer on some members of Congress, and not others, peacefully and patriotically. The Supreme Court ruled in Brandenburg that there's a very clear standard. In short, to paraphrase, whether the speech was intended to provoke imminent lawless action, and was it likely to do so. Go to the Capitol and cheer on some members of Congress, but not others. They know it doesn't meet the standard for incitement, so they edited it down. We heard a lot this week about fight like hell, but they cut off the video before they showed you the president's optimistic, patriotic words that followed immediately after.
We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. Our exciting adventures and boldest endeavors have not yet
these people
begun.
would never lie to you.
My fellow Americans, for our movement, for our children, and for our beloved country. And I say this, despite all that's happened, the best is yet to come.
Yep, definitely inciting violence. Definitely, you know this. All of this is just garbage. All of this is garbage because Orange Man bad. They hate him. They hate him, and they hate the people who support him. That's exactly why they're labeling 74 million people terrorists. That's exactly it. What? 6 months of cities burning down and nothing? Nothing? Right? And then, like, I'm not, I've said this before, like, I don't condone what happened at the Capitol at all. At all. I don't think any conservative talking head has. Give me anyone, any conservative talking head, give me one that says, yeah, this is a good thing that this happened. We should do it again. Like, no. You don't see that from any conservative talking head literally ever at all. You're not going to find it because none of them believe that it was good. None of them believe that it should have happened. But you're inciting an insurrection, or in Chuck Schumer's words, an erection. Oh my gosh! And because of it, 74 million people are terrorists, but definitely inciting violence. Right? It's so insane to me that they went onto this floor and put out this absolute garbage. They edited it down so that it looked like he was, but if you watch the whole thing, you see that's not the case. But there's fine people on both sides, right? If you watch the whole thing, watch the whole thing if you haven't. And if when you do, you're gonna be like, oh my god, yeah, these people don't care about you. They lie to you all the time.
You were saying the press has treated white nationalists unfairly? No. I just didn't understand what you were saying. No.
There's that famous quote, like one of the House managers said, "A lie will travel halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to put its shoes on." Well, this lie traveled around the world a few times, made its way into the Biden campaign talking points, and ended up on the Senate floor. The Charlottesville lie. Very fine people on both sides, except...
Totally forgot that I had it. He talks about it in this one. They took this opportunity to like show a bunch of stuff, which I thought it was pretty cool. So, if you haven't seen it, you're about to see it.
That isn't all he said, and they knew it then, and they know it now. Watch this.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name.
White nationalists?
Well, no, George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, excuse me, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history, you're changing culture, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly. Now, in the other group also, you had some fine people, but you also had troublemakers, and you see them come with the black outfits, and with the helmets, and with the baseball bats. You had a lot of bad.
Listen to what this reporter just says right here.
Sir, I'm sorry, I just didn't understand what you were saying. You were saying the press has treated white nationalists unfairly?
No.
What? Do these people not have brains? Do they not hear what he's saying? Are you saying that white nationalists were being treated unfairly? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're? Is that what you're saying, Mr. President? If you're saying that, I think I'm gonna cry. I think I'm gonna start crying. I don't understand. Do their ears not work? Do their brains not function? Like, I don't understand. How can you hear what he's saying, and then were you saying white nationalists were being treated unfairly? Like, he literally just said the people that weren't them. But I guess.
I don't understand what you were saying.
There were people in that rally, and I looked the night before.
I don't understand what you're saying.
There were people protesting very quietly the taking down of the statue of Robert E. Lee. I'm sure in that group there were some bad ones. The following day it looked like they had some rough, bad people, neo-Nazis, white nationalists, whatever you want to call them. But you had a lot of people in that group that were there to innocently protest, and very legally protest, because, you know, I don't know if you know, they had a permit. The other group didn't have a permit. So I only tell you this, there are two sides to a story. I thought what took place was a horrible moment for our country. A horrible moment. But there are two sides to the country. Does anybody have a final? Does anybody have, you have an infrastructure.
This might be today the first time the news networks played those
Facts.
full remarks in their context.
Facts.
And how many times have you heard that President Trump has never denounced white supremacists? Now you in America know the truth. Here's another example. One of the House managers made much of the president's supposedly ominous words of, "You have to get your people to fight." But you knew what the president really meant. He meant that the crowd should demand action from members of Congress and support primary challenges to those who don't do what he considered to be right. Support primary challenges, not violent action. I know what he meant because I watched the full video, and so did the House managers, but they manipulated his words. You will see where they stopped it, and to give it a very different meaning from the meaning it has in full context. Let's watch.
You have to get your people to fight. He told them.
You have to get your people to fight. And if they don't fight, we have to primary the hell out of the ones that don't fight. You primary them, we're gonna let you know who they are. I could already tell you, frankly.
The people who need to fight are members of Congress. Why did we have to skip the necessary due diligence and due process of law and that any legal proceeding should have? It couldn't have been the urgency to get President Trump out of office. House Democrats held the articles until he was no longer president, mooting their case. Hatred, animosity, division, political gain, and let's face it, for House Democrats, President Trump is the best enemy to attack.
I love it. So good. I love what they did. I love the fact that they knew, because everyone knew. If you were following this, you knew they did not have the amount of votes that they needed to convict him. It was a sham, a complete sham. Okay, but they knew, so they were like, all right, well, let's use this to just let's just say stuff. So they just started saying stuff. They started, all right, you know what? They've never played this full clip of Donald Trump actually saying what he said, so let's play it. Like they knew that this trial wasn't going to go anywhere. They knew that he wasn't going to get convicted because they didn't have enough votes, and they knew that the Democrats had a garbage case. It was, they were saying that their whole argument was that he incited a insurrection and then gave no evidence as to how he incited an insurrection other than editing down videos of what he said that day. That's all they gave. They didn't say like he was working with other people to plan this insurrection. None of that. They edited videos down and they came on and they were crying about how scary it was. That's it. Their case was garbage. It had no real evidence whatsoever on the legitimacy of any of it. So they went ahead and started to use this to absolutely embarrass the Democrats. Absolutely embarrass them. It was so freaking funny. I'm going to show you a clip later of Nancy Pelosi absolutely losing her mind, and I think it's the most hilarious thing I have ever freaking seen in my life. I was literally in tears, dying laughing. So they were saying that these words that he was using was condoning violence. Condoning violence. I mean, I don't know if you've seen any videos like I'm about to show you of Democrats literally asking for violence. Here is Michael Van de Veer.
Contrast the president's repeated condemnations of violence with the rhetoric from his opponents.
I am your president of law and order and an ally.
I absolutely love how I thought this was so funny. I like how when they switch between the two videos, the music changes. It's like Trump is like just like all happy, and then it changes over to some Democrat saying some craziness, and it's just like no, and it's like the music changes. It's so hilarious. I thought that was so funny. I thought it was like just like a cherry on top. It made me laugh.
Of all peaceful protesters.
The vast majority of the protest has been peaceful.
Republicans stand for law and order. And we stand
Oh my God,
for
the
justice.
music is
I
killing
just
me.
don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
My administration will always
Oh, the
stand
music's
against
killing me, dude.
violence, mayhem,
The music is
and
killing me.
disorder.
There needs to be unrest in the
Look at
streets
his
for as long
egg.
as there's unrest
Look at
in
his
our lives.
egg.
I stand with the heroes of law enforcement.
And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
We will never defund our police. Together we will ensure that
Oh my
America is a
gosh.
nation of law and order.
In high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
But I think
Oh, is
you
that
need
what
to
you
go
would do?
back and punch him in the face. Feel like punching him.
We just want law and order. Everybody wants that.
That's it.
I
That's all we
want
want.
to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price. We want law and order. We have to have law and order.
Show me where it
The
says
music
that
is killing
protests
me.
are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
We believe in safe streets, secure communities, and we believe in law and order.
Oh, that dramatic pause.
Tragically,
Oh man.
as we know now, on January 6th, a small group who came to engage in violent and menacing behavior hijacked the event for their own purposes.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's crazy how Trump can say you can go to the Capitol and peacefully and patriotically protest, and then you have people who are literally, I don't know why there's not protests in the streets, and there very well may be. Literally, I'm gonna punch Donald Trump in the face. I want to punch him in the face. Like literally, out of their mouth, push back on them. Maxine Waters. Literally telling people to do crazy things. Talking about crazy things, and Donald Trump is the one that incited an erection, as Chuck Schumer might say. It's so crazy to me. I don't understand how that works. I really don't. I really don't understand how this double standard works. I don't understand how people don't see this double standard and don't be like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, it's freaking crazy. These people are insane. They have, I don't think they have brains, honestly. I really don't think they have brains. I think there are worms eating their brains from the inside. They, like, just meat bags walking around. I honestly don't know how people don't see it. Again, like, how can you watch those videos and you be like, yeah, that's cool. Hey, okay to me. No problemo. But Orange Man bad, right? Orange Man bad. Orange Man bad. And whatever he does and says is absolutely terrible. If there was any other person other than Donald Trump that like did what he did during his term, like the peace agreements in the Middle East, there would have been like celebrations in the streets. But no, because Orange Man bad did it, it's bad. Shouldn't have done that. No, sir. No, sir. And the main thing that I found that they were saying stuff like, he was telling his people to fight. He was telling his people to fight like hell. Like, literally every politician has never said that before. I can probably, he gives a whole compilation of politicians saying the same thing, but when Orange Man Bad does it, it's an issue. Here's David Shoen.
One of the House managers made much of the president's supposedly ominous words of, "You have to get your people to fight." But you knew what the president really meant. He meant that the crowd should demand action from members of Congress and support primary challenges to those who don't do what he considered to be right. Support primary challenges not violent action. I know what he meant because I watched the full video, and so did the House managers, but they manipulated his words. You will see where they stopped it, and to give it a very different
Did we watch this already?
from the meaning it has in full
Probably.
context. Let's watch.
You have to get your
Yeah.
people.
We're gonna let you know who they.
We watched this. We're gonna
It
skip
couldn't
through
have
it
been
real
the
quick.
urgency to get President Trump out of office. House Democrats
I want to say this for Donald Trump.
Okay, here it is.
animosity to get President Trump out of office. House Democrats, Congress. Why did we have to skip the necessary due diligence and due process of law
Okay.
and that any legal proceeding should have? It couldn't have been the urgency to get President Trump out of office. House Democrats held the articles until he was no longer president, mooting their case. Hatred, animosity, division, political gain, and let's face it, for House Democrats, President Trump is the best enemy to attack.
I want to say this for Donald Trump, who I may well be voting to impeach.
Donald Trump has already done a number of things which legitimately raise the question of impeachment.
I don't respect this president, and I will fight
Oh my gosh.
every day until he is impeached.
That is grounds to start impeachment proceedings. Those are grounds to start impeachment. Those are grounds to start impeachment proceedings. Yes, I think that's grounds to start impeachment proceedings.
I rise today, Mr. Speaker, to call for the impeachment of the president.
As you can see, there's just a pathological since the beginning of his presidency. There has just been this pathological hatred of him to want to impeach him. There's video from 2017. So they wanted to do this. They've been wanting to do this. So they just needed to find something to do it with. And they did. Which was, again, garbage. Garbage, and that absolutely blew up in their face, and it's hilarious.
Of the United States of America.
I continue to say, impeach him! Impeach 45! Impeach 45!
So we're calling upon the House to begin impeachment hearings immediately.
On the impeachment, Donald Trump, would you vote yes or no?
I would vote yes. I would vote to impeach.
I'm surprised she's not crying.
We're going to impeach the mother.
But the fact
Oh,
is,
wow.
I introduced articles of impeachment in July of 2017.
If we don't impeach this president, he will get reelected.
My oath requires me to
You know what? That's honestly what this whole thing is about. They're scared that he's going to run again in 2024 and that he's going to win. That's what this whole thing is about. That's why they needed to be able to do whatever they needed to do to, even though he wasn't even a sitting president anymore. That's the whole point of impeachment. The whole point of impeachment is to take a sitting president out of office. He is a private citizen, and they were trying him as a private citizen. How this makes any freaking sense at all, I don't understand. I feel like they could be doing much other things that have much more importance, other than this absolutely sham of an impeachment. It's freaking ridiculous.
Have an impeachment hearing. He needs the scarlet eye on his chest.
The representatives should begin impeachment proceedings against this president.
It is time to bring impeachment charges
The
against him.
0.00% 1% Indian here.
My personal view is that he richly deserves impeachment.
I'm here at an impeachment rally. And
I feel like no one says anything. Woo! No one says anything.
Impeach him every day of the week for anything he does.
For anything that he does. We will impeach him for anything that he does. He could do anything, and they were going to push impeachment. This just so happened to be the perfect je ne sais quoi, I guess, of a situation to use the impeachment for the second time. And the second time they lost. Hilarious. It's so freaking hilarious. It's so funny to me.
That same hatred and anger has led House managers to ignore their own words and actions.
David Shoen with the
and set a
receipts.
dangerous double standard. The House managers spoke about rhetoric, about a constant drumbeat of heated language. Well, as I'm sure everyone watching expected, we need to show you some of their own words.
Oh gosh.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
There needs to be unrest in
The
the streets
egg.
for as long as
The
there's
egg.
unrest in our lives.
You got to be ready to throw a punch. You have
Ooh.
to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
Then I thought he should have punched him in the face.
Feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school. If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the...
Oh, is that what you're gonna do, Mr. Potato Brain? Is that what you're gonna do if you put him behind the gym? Is that what you're gonna do? You gonna beat the hell out of him? You sure? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. You might just sniff him a little bit.
the hell out of him. No, I wish we were in high school. I could take him behind the gym.
I will go and...
These people, they can't think of anything new. You just saw him say the same thing 3 times. Like the first time you're just like, oh, that's pretty original. Second time, yeah. Third time, they say the same thing over and over again. They have no creativity whatsoever. It's freaking, nah.
And take Trump out tonight.
Take him out now.
Take him out now.
The last time an actor assassinated a president.
Bro, oh my god! That is so crazy to me. How can someone say that? And then everyone's just like, yeah, that's cool. Imagine if someone said that right now. If someone said that right now, all hell would break loose. Like literally, like that person would probably be thrown into jail. They would lose their job. Their kids would be taken away from them. Like, it's cool, I guess. It's cool, I guess. Whatever.
Still gonna have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump. Show me where.
Oh my gosh.
Protests are supposed to be
This
polite
dummy.
and peaceful.
The freaking First Amendment. Whatever.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Terrorist? Did she? I think Madonna's a terrorist. I think Madonna is a domestic terrorist. She should be arrested, put into jail. She should never be allowed to make music ever again.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
People will do what they do.
Oh, you know, whatever.
I want to tell you, Kavanaugh,
Yeah.
you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
We're gonna go in there, we're gonna... This is just a warning to you.
This crazy lady.
Be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator,
Okay.
President Trump might...
This right here. This is crazy. Kamala Harris, I think is a psychopath. I think she's like Joker level, like like have you heard her laugh? She like it sends chills. I like have nightmares. I wake up at night in a cold sweat to her laughs. Jokes. Just jokes or not, maybe. Yeah. Just listen to this garbage.
Answer Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Oh my gosh! Look at this lady's eyeballs. Like she just looks insane.
Stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Oh my gosh! Look at this freaking crazy lady. Oh my, does one of us have to come out alive? Look at, oh my gosh! And then her freaking crazy, psychotic laugh. Oh my gosh, no.
And there's more.
Oh!
To fight.
My boy has the receipts. Oh my gosh. Shoen with the receipts. This was like probably the greatest trial ever. Honestly.
Every single day. I'm a fighter and I'm relentless. But I'm a fighter and I'm...
You look like a slug. You look like a slug. I don't believe you can fight at all. Your mile is probably like an hour. This man doesn't look like he has done a crunch in the last like 30 years. I don't know about that, bud. I don't know about that.
A fighter, and I'm relentless. I will fight like hell.
But the way I see it now is
Oh, no.
that we pick ourselves up
Don't say
and
that.
we fight back. That's what I think it's all about. We stand up and we fight back. We do not back down. We do not compromise.
Oh my
not
God.
today,
They're all sitting
not
there just like,
tomorrow,
well,
not ever.
it's
If
different
you
when I
find
say
out,
it.
You can whimper, you can pull up in a ball, you can decide to move to Canada, or you can stand your ground and fight back. and that's what it's about. We do fight back, but we are going to fight back. We are not turning this country over to what Donald Trump has sold.
Are you inciting
We're
an
just not.
insurrection?
People are upset, and they're right to be upset. Now, we can whimper, we can whine, or we can fight back. Me, I'm here to fight back.
I'm here to fight back. Yeehaw!
I'm here to fight back because we will not forget. We do not want to forget. We will use that vision to make sure that we fight harder, we fight tougher, and we fight more passionately.
Oh, this sounds like
more
you're
than
you're
ever.
inciting an
We
insurrection there,
still have
bud.
a fight on our hands. Fight hard for the changes Americans are demanding. Get in the fight to winning the fight.
I keep saying this, but the case that the Democrats are making is absolute garbaggio. Garbaggio. So much so, they made a montage of politicians saying fight. The very thing that they're saying Trump said that incited the erection. The insurrection. My apologies. But a montage. Like, I don't think these people understand how the internet works. I really don't. I don't think these old freaking just flakes, bags of bodily flakes, they're deteriorating in front of our eyes. They're just like I just probably just like Thanos their asses. Thanos dust. But I don't think they understand how the internet works. I really don't. Like when you say things, it's there forever. It's exactly why they made a whole montage. A montage. Yeah. Of them saying the very thing that they're accusing Trump of saying for inciting an insurrection.
Fighting. He's fighting. He uses every tool possible to fight for this change. We'll fight to fight, fighting hard. Serious about fighting and fight. We got to get on our front foot and fight back. Problems, we call them out and we fight back.
Dude, this is hilarious. Oh my gosh.
I am fighting.
They were like really picking on Elizabeth Warren, dude.
Get in this fight.
They were like, get in on her, just like deep.
This fight. And fighting, we all need to be in the fight. We all need to stay in the fight. We stay in this fight. We fought back. I am not afraid of a fight. I am in
You're not
this
afraid of a fight?
all
Sure
the
you're not.
way. You don't get what you don't fight for. Our fight. We are in this fight for our lives.
Damn, they're going in on her, bro. They're like really getting on her head, bro. What the heck?
But we are going to make sure that this fight does not end tonight.
This is a fight for our lives, the lives of our
He looks
friends
like a mouse.
and family members and
Like,
neighbors.
if you gave him a piece of
It is
cheese,
a fight,
he'd probably like.
and it is a fight that we're going to work to make sure continues. It's a fight. It is a fight. It is a fight, and that's what this
Oh my
fight
god,
is
you
for.
can't make this stuff up,
Well,
guys.
I'm wired to fight anyone who isn't doing their job for us. I'm
Yeah.
John Tester, and you damn right. I approve this message.
You're damn right. Put on those gloves. I want to see you start fighting people.
Lots of fights ahead of us, and I'm ready to stand up and keep fighting. We have to
What's your
fight.
record?
We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. We need to fight, and we need to fight.
Fight.
We're gonna fight. A few more fights. We're gonna take the privilege of a few more fights, and we have the biggest fight of all. I will never.
I mean,
stop
all of these
fighting.
people
I
are
will
inciting
fight
insurrections,
right now
guys.
to fight back against
They're all
anyone.
inciting insurrections.
That we are ready to
Come on.
fight.
It's a bare knuckles fight.
Now they're going
bare
to
knuckle
have to
fight, nice.
actually fight back against people.
The fight has to be conducted.
It's so important that we need to fight.
Fight that fight.
We have been fighting.
I was fighting very hard.
Time is of the essence, both in terms of the fight.
I think we should be fighting.
Well, I really believe we need to fight. We're simply not going to take this line down.
Oh
We're
my
gonna
god.
keep fighting.
This montage is pretty long.
My colleagues, this is the fight of our life.
Whose side are you on? Who are you fighting for?
They're fighting, or I'm fighting. We're both fighting.
We will fight back. We're not going to just take this line down.
I'm just going to keep the fight up.
What we have to do right now is fight as hard as we can.
We have to rise up and fight back.
And so we're going to fight, and we're going to continue to fight.
I am going to be fighting like hell.
Keep fighting, fighting, or we kept
Fight like
fighting
hell.
and we did. So we're going to keep fighting.
We have to be fighting every single day.
We have to fight back, and we have no choice but to do that. I think we're doing the right thing to do that.
Fighting.
And I'm fighting.
Well, our job right now is to fight.
It's really important. I'm going to keep fighting.
I'm asking for the support of people across the country to fight back.
And you got to be fierce in fighting.
Gotta be fierce.
I've told President Biden I will fight like mad.
I'll tell you what, now more than ever, we have to fight like hell.
We have these battles
Ooh,
on the
fight
floor.
like hell?
I'm going to go down and battle, and I'm going to be down there on the floor fighting.
Right. But we Democrats are fighting as hard as we can. Democrats are fighting as hard as we can. Credit it in any way, but we're fighting back.
What we've got to do is fight in Congress, fight in the courts, fight in the streets, fight online, fight at the ballot box.
Yeah, I would love to see a brawl in Congress.
Fighting, continue to be brave and be strong and keep fighting. We're getting people engaged in the fight.
This other
We're
egg.
Fighting. We've got to keep fighting and keep
Egg boy.
focused. Continue to fight.
Fight. This is going to be a fight.
We'll also fight him and challenge him in every way that we can, in the Congress, in the courts, and in the streets.
Oh.
Fighting. We each have an important role to play in fighting. In this fight, like so many before it, it has been a fight. The American people are going to have to fight. And about the importance of fighting, I will always fight. Fighting. But we always must fight. Joe Biden.
How you got a double chin and not a double chin at the same time?
Deep-seated commitment to fight and to fight, and about the importance of fighting. We always must fight, to fight, to fight, and to fight. As our willingness to fight continued the fight, as Joe Biden says, to fight. It's about fighting what we're fighting for. We will tell them about what we did to fight. Really about a fight. But truly, I do believe that we're in a fight. I believe that we are in a fight. I believe we are in a fight. I believe we are in a fight. So there's a fight in front of us. A fight for all of these things. And so we're prepared to fight.
For all the
that.
wonderful
We know how to
rainbows
fight.
in the sky.
Our ongoing fight of fight. We
Fight.
know how to fight. We like a good fight. We were born out of a fight. This is what is our fight right now.
There's the fight, there's the fight, there's the fight, and then there's the fight to defend.
Back in the fight.
I love the zoom.
That is the guiding purpose of House Democrats, fighting. He has never forgotten who he is fighting for. Marched and fought, and we just have to fight. But this is a fight for our country.
Fighting the health crisis of COVID.
I led the fight and continue to fight. Never, never, never. Give up
Good old
this fight.
potato brain.
I'm a citizen.
You're a citizen, really?
Fighting for it. Means not only fighting a leader who fought for progressive change, as a lawyer who fought for people his whole life, as well as other fights. And I'm proud that to have Tim in this fight with me. And above all, it's time for America to get back up. And once again, fight.
We will fight when we must fight.
What kind of America are we fighting for? We've been fighting, so we need to fight, but we also need to fight. Fight for an America.
I am going to wake up every day and fight hard. I have been fighting. We're going to fight. We are going to fight. We're going to fight. We're going to fight. And I will fight.
We're in the fight of our lives right now.
We fight
Oh my
like hell.
gosh.
To fight.
To fight.
Fight against the Trump administration. Democrats are standing up to fight. We're in
This
this
is
fight
laughable.
in a serious way. Issue a fight.
We're eager to take on this fight. Get in this fight, and we'll fight it out. I have taken on the fights.
As representatives for the people, as legislators here in the halls of Congress, our job is to fight.
Who has led us in this fight.
Is to fight for this. This fight.
And every day I'm in the United States Senate, I will fight.
And one of the things we do is fight, should fight.
Because my constituents send me here each and every day
to fight.
We have been fighting this fight, and we need to be side by side so we can succeed. And
When
so
you
I
lose
hope
by
that you will all join us
50,000 votes
in our
and
fight. And if we
you still
fight,
think that you're
and as the next governor of Georgia, I will never stop fighting. We can show the old guard something new, and we can fight.
My fight, those fights need to fight an administration
requiring us to fight, and fight we will. Their fight. In their fight. In their fight. The fight is a fight. And so when we fight the fight that we are in, when we are fighting this fight, we fight this fight. The strength of who we are is we will fight. And we will fight. We will fight the fight. We will fight. We are in a fight. The fight. 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 It is a fight. It is a fight. And it is a fight
Oh my
born
gosh.
out of patriotism.
It's like
This is
almost
a fight
unbelievable.
fighting. I say fight on, fight on, fight on, fight on.
I'm here to say one more time in publicly, this is not a fight I wanted to take on, but this is the fight in front of us now.
Every single one of you and every one of you. That's okay. You didn't do anything wrong. It's a word people use. But please stop the hypocrisy.
Stop the hypocrisy. I love it. I really, really do. They put together a montage, a whole montage of them being absolutely hypocritical. Absolutely hypocritical. Like, I really don't know how, like, they can even think that this was gonna work. I really don't. Like, they probably could have had some other angle that it could have somehow gone through, but, like, they chose the worst possible thing. Inciting an insurrection because of his words. Because he said some stuff that riled some people up, and because of it, we almost lost our democracy. No, we didn't almost lose our democracy. They were literally back in session, like, a few hours later. We didn't almost lose our democracy. So all these people that were saying we almost lost our democracy on January 6th, shut up. We did not almost lose our democracy. Did we almost lose our democracy when cities were being burned down? No, we didn't. Stop. It's ridiculous. It's so freaking. I don't understand how people, like, can just hear stuff like that and be like, yeah, and not think about it diligently, critically, but instead you just believe everything that's told to you, and you're just like, yep, we almost lost our democracy. Orange man bad. He incited an insurrection because he said we gotta fight like hell. When you just heard multiple times the exact words, fight like hell, and fight probably like 200 times. But did any of them incite an insurrection? Were they calling to violence? No. And neither was Orange Man bad. But people don't want to believe that because you are trained to believe that you are the resistance. You are the resistance. Yes, because the resistance thinks the same way that McDonald's thinks, and the same way that, Burger King thinks. Yep. The same way that every institution thinks. But you're the resistance. You sure are the resistance because you think exactly and act exactly the way everyone else does. That's the resistance, for sure. That is most definitely the resistance. Oh my gosh. And then they go on to say they were gonna call witnesses. They were saying we're gonna call witnesses. We're gonna bring people up to start saying things. And then they saw the Trump team's witness list and they said, yeah, never mind. Never mind. I have to tell the truth? Oh no, I can't do that. How about never mind? How about never mind? How about we don't do that? Here is Michael Van Der Veer talking about pulling witnesses.
The first thing I want to say on the issue of witnesses is that the House manager just got up here and described the articles of impeachment and the charges. There is no plural here. That's wrong. There's one article of impeachment and there's one charge, and that's incitement of violence and insurrection. What you all need to know and the American people need to know is, as of late yesterday afternoon, there was a stipulation going around that there weren't going to be any witnesses. But after what happened here in this chamber yesterday, the House managers realized they did not investigate this case before doing the impeachment. They did not
after David Shoen absolutely wrecked them, they had to sit there. They had to sit there and watch that video and just like and just watch this case absolutely implode on them. Absolutely implode on them for trying to reach this pie in the sky dream of impeaching Trump for something that is not even worthy of being impeached for. Because you heard Nancy Pelosi herself, whatever he does, we're going to impeach him for it. You heard it from her, not from me.
Consideration and work. They didn't put the work in that was necessary to impeach the former president. But if they want to have witnesses, I'm going to need at least...
Bro, this fool wants all the smoke. He said, y'all want to pull witnesses? All right, come on. Let's pull witnesses. He wants all the smoke. Michael Van Der Veer wants all the smoke, bro. He is there. He said, yo, by all means, let's go down this road. And what did they do? They pulled out. They pulled out because they know they had a weak, absolutely hot garbage case.
For 100 depositions, not just one. The real issue is incitement. They put into their case over 100 witnesses, people who have been charged with crimes by the federal government. And each one of those, they said that Mr. Trump was a co-conspirator with. That's not true. But I have the right to defend that. The only thing that I ask, if you vote for witnesses, do not handcuff me by limiting the number of witnesses that I can have. I need to do a thorough investigation that they did not do. I need to do the 911 style investigation that Nancy Pelosi called for. It should have been done already. It's a dereliction of the House manager's duty that they didn't. And now at the last minute, after a stipulation had apparently been worked out, they want to go back on that. I think that's inappropriate and improper. We should close this case out today. We have each prepared our closing arguments.
This is all so funny to me, dude.
I mean, I had 8 days to get ready for this thing. But we each had those 8 days.
My man said I had 8 days to cut weight.
Together to prepare ourselves. And the House managers need to live with the case that they brought.
Garbage, which was garbage,
but
absolutely
freaking
hot garbage.
Please, in all fairness and in all due process, do not limit my ability to discover the truth. That would be another sham. And that's the president's position, my position.
I've been saying his name wrong. Michael Van Der Veen. Not Van Der... whatever I was saying earlier. Van Der Veen. My bad. That was so funny. After David Shoen comes out, absolutely tears him a new one. He comes out and says, well, y'all were scared. Y'all were scared because if this went on any longer, if it went on any longer, dude, the irreparable damage that would have been done. Oh man, I would have loved to seen it. Honestly, I would have loved to see it, but they were too scared to keep going on because they knew, again, garbage case. Again, everyone knew this. Everyone knew that this wasn't going to work. I have no idea why they thought this was going to work. I don't know why they continued on with it. Like, they got absolutely embarrassed. Absolutely embarrassed. And for good reason. Because, like he said, they did not put in the work. They just slapped some videos together, put some people up on the podium that were crying, talking about how scared they were. Like, I get it. You're scared. But how does that connect to Trump inciting an insurrection at all? I don't care that you're crying. I really don't. Where's the evidence? Nowhere. And you got freaking Eric Swalwell, the dude that bangs Chinese spies, literally, still on the Intelligence Committee. I have no idea why. Cause imagine if that were flipped. Imagine if someone in the Trump cabinet was caught sleeping with a Chinese spy. The uproar. We're losing our democracy, everyone. We're losing our democracy. Trump needs to be held accountable. It would have been. That's how it went. That's how it would have went. So here's Eric Swalwell saying how they have a strong case. These people are delusional.
You know, the choice was, well, do we chase those people, not knowing what they're going to say, to the courts for years, or do we go forward with a powerful, thundering case that we have, and also knowing that Mitch McConnell was already telling us that he believed the challenge was a jurisdictional one, so we could have called God herself, and the Republicans weren't going to be willing to convict. So we're proud of the case we put forward.
God herself? Excuse-moi, what? What do you mean? I don't understand your stupidness. I don't understand. What? Your strong case? You could have called God herself? What are you talking about? I thought pronouns... I thought gender was a socially constructed thing. I didn't know they appointed Eric Swalwell, the person that decides gender. I didn't know that. Did you know? I didn't know that. Strong case. What are you talking about? Like, if it's either one, they are just absolutely blatantly lying through their teeth so that it doesn't seem as bad, or are they dumb enough to actually think that this was a strong case? And I'm thinking that they're just dumb. I literally think that they're potato brains. You got freaking your IQ has to be extremely low. Like SpongeBob is probably if you were compared to SpongeBob would probably end up passing his driver's test. That's how dumb you are. That's how dumb they are. That SpongeBob would get his driver's license before they would have made a good case. Because the case that they've made is garbage. Hot garbage. Strong case. What are you talking about? What are you These people give me migraines. Truly. They're just all so slow. Like, in what world did you think that crying on a podium and doctoring evidence is a strong case? I don't understand. And then I absolutely love this. Michael, I haven't seen it yet, so we're gonna watch this together. Michael Vanderveen goes on a CBSN or something, and he has this interview with, I don't know her name, and again, these dudes have they got balls, dude. because no one else does this. No one else goes in front of all of these Democrats that have never been told that they're wrong before, have never been told that what they're saying is absolutely wrong and dumb, and said it to their face, and they're all mad. They're all super mad. It's hilarious. Super mad. And then they freaking, but they come out, and they do it. And they're telling him off. And then he goes onto the mainstream media, and he starts telling them off. Something that no one ever does. No one ever does it. They just don't. They don't ever do it. But they come out there, and he does it anyway. Because he's not scared. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Here's Michael Van Der Veen telling off, hey, I think it's CBSN, I don't know, host, and I think it's freaking hilarious.
Joining me now is former President Trump's attorney, Michael Van Der Veen. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Let's get right into those words that we heard from Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. He ended the trial with this passionate speech about President Trump's involvement in the insurrection. During it, he said that the former president is still liable for everything he did during his period in office. Are you expecting to face more charges against Mr. Trump in the near future, and do you anticipate being part of that defense?
No, that's just political rhetoric, and I was hopeful that something would come out of this, that the political
right off the bat
would stop out of Washington, D.C., but I guess apparently it hasn't.
Right off the bat.
Were you, though, surprised to hear those words coming from the leader of the Republican Party in the Senate?
I'm not surprised to hear a politician say anything at all.
He's like, nah.
Well, throughout the trial.
Oh my God, you can see she is visibly uncomfortable. She absolutely knows that this interview is not going to go how she wants it to go. She is visibly uncomfortable. Oh my gosh.
Mr. Trump had a role in inciting the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. You argued, first of all, that there was no insurrection. But during your closing arguments, you seemingly admitted that there was, in fact, an insurrection, using that word, saying that was not up for debate. What role did the former president play?
You didn't understand the case. I used the word
I'll give you the opportunity to clarify, sir.
Sure. I used the word insurrection.
Dude, he's so done.
In the closing argument when quoting.
Dude, this man is absolutely done. He's sitting there. He's just like, I don't like any of you. You guys are dumb. You guys don't know what you're talking about. He's done, bro. He's absolutely done. You can see it. You can see it in his face. He's just like he's about to freaking break one, bro. It's so funny. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, he's so done with them, bro. This is hilarious.
Charging documents. What happened at the Capitol on January 6th is absolutely horrific. But what happened at the Capitol during this trial was not too far away from that. The prosecutors in this case doctored evidence. They did not investigate this case, and when they had to come to the court of the Senate to put their case on, because they hadn't done any investigation, they doctored evidence. It was absolutely shocking. I think when we discovered it and we were able to expose
absolutely
it
not
and
shocked
put it
at
out,
all.
I think it turned a lot of senators. The American people should not be putting up with this. They need to look at who these House managers were and look to see whether these are the folks they want representing them. It was shocking to me. Wouldn't have believed it.
Let's follow up with a point that you're making right now about the House managers, as you say, doctoring evidence, and the argument.
They didn't deny it.
Viewers,
they didn't deny it.
I put it in front of them 3 times. To be clear for our viewers, what you're talking about now is a check mark. That's a verification on Twitter that did not exist on that particular tweet. A 2020 that should have actually read 2021. and the selective editing, you say, of the tapes. Is that?
Oh, you know, just it's just a check mark. It's just selective editing. Come on, viewers. Just to clarify to my no big deal. No big deal at all. What? What? Literally what?
Is that the doctored evidence of what you're speaking?
Oh, look at his face. He's like, hold up. You're not gonna just gloss by that like that, bro. Oh my goodness.
Enough for you? That's not enough for you? Wait, no,
Sir,
no.
I'm trying,
Listen,
I am not a juror in this trial. What I'm trying to be clear for our viewers is what you're referring to, because not everybody has been following.
It's not okay
not everybody,
to doctor
sir,
a little bit of evidence. Respectfully.
I have not said it is okay.
Ma'am, your question is
I want to be clear for our viewers.
Listen, what has to happen
for our
is
viewers about what exactly you're saying when you say doctored evidence.
The media has to start telling the right story in this country. The media is trying to divide this country. You are bloodthirsty for ratings, and as such, you're asking questions now.
Dude, visibly uncomfortable, dude. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Fact pattern. I can't believe you would
my
ask
boy.
me a question indicating
my
that
boy
it's
Michael
all right just to
Vanderveen.
doctor a little bit of evidence. There's more stuff that we uncovered that they doctored, to be frank with you, and perhaps that will come out one day. But we won this case, and I'm not a sore loser, but what happened, or a sore winner, I should say.
Yes, sir.
What should happen
yes,
is
sir.
somebody should look at the conduct of these House managers. It's unconscionable, aside from all of the due process violations that my client had. And the media should be looking at a square, straight way. A straight way. When I watch the news, I watch one station and it's raining. I watch another station at the same time and it's sunny. Your coverage is so slanted, it's got to stop. You guys have to stop and
tearing them, bro.
Reporting more like
they're not used to this
PBS
at all.
does, rather than
they're not used to people telling them the truth.
A TV news show that doesn't have any journalistic integrity at all. What I'm telling you is that they doctored evidence.
Oh, they're gonna start crying, bro. Stop.
I believe your question says, well, it's only a Twitter check and changing a year of a date here.
No!
They switched the date of a Twitter a year to try to connect it to this case. That's not a small thing, ma'am. The other thing they did is they put a check mark on something to make it look like it was a validated account when it wasn't. And when they were caught, they didn't say anything about it. They didn't even try to come up with an excuse about it.
It's like my new favorite lawyer.
That's not the way our prosecutors or our government officials should be conducting
Oh my
themselves.
gosh.
And the media shouldn't be
My
letting
man.
them get away with it either. I'm
My
tired of
man.
the biased media on both sides, left and right. What this country wants, what this country needs, is this country to come together.
She's so
to
uncomfortable.
take the
Oh my
left
gosh.
and the right and find a middle ground and start responsibly being our public officials, our elected officials. And one of the reasons why they do it is because of the media. Because the media wants to tell their narrative rather than just telling it like it is. And frankly, I'm tired of it. I'm not a media. I'm not
My
in front
man.
of the cameras all the time. But what I've
My
been
man.
subjected to this last week.
I understand, and I've given
You
you
don't
the
want to hear
opportunity.
the truth. Yeah. Okay.
I've given you the opportunity. I will remind you that what I said was that for our viewers who have not been
heard what you said.
following all of the evidence,
We heard it. We heard it. We know. We know.
be clear about what
We
you
know.
are speaking about. And I understand
I'm speaking
that you
about
seem
the House
very
manager's
upset.
failure to prove their case.
We know.
That's what I'm telling
And
you.
you
They
have
weren't able to
won
prove their
the
case.
acquittal. You have won the acquittal of your client.
Yes,
and if
I
you'd like
did.
to continue to talk about this conversation, we can have that discussion.
need to.
But for me to ask a question,
I'm done.
But for me to ask a question to clarify for our viewers,
a slanted question that was set up to say it's okay for them to cheat. That was your question. Isn't it
I didn't
okay
say
for
that.
them to cheat?
I didn't
it's
say
just
that.
a little bit. You said,
No.
to be fair, it was
It's
only
fine.
a check
I
on the
understand. You're
Twitter.
not-
That's what you said. You got to live by your words. That's the problem. The media has to start living by the truth.
Oh man, he's in there.
Not try to create a narrative.
Michael Vanderveen.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us. I do appreciate.
Yep.
Okay.
Bro,
I see you
so
taking off
mad.
your microphone now. That was President Trump's defense attorney, Michael Vanderveen.
Oh my gosh. So this is my first time that I've watched that all the way through. Like I've seen a few seconds of the beginning, a few seconds of the end, just from clips on the medias. But that was my first time watching the whole thing, and that was freaking awesome. That was awesome. That right there is what needs to happen all the time. The media needs to be held accountable for the things that they say, for the things that they do, for the clear bias. Like, there's a difference between being a news station, right, and saying that you're bipartisan when you're not. Obviously, if you can't see that by now, if you can't see that the mainstream media has a clear bias, you are blind, and you need to open your eyeballs. Open your eyeballs, because it's right there. It's not hard to see. Like, they obviously believe believe in a certain thing in a certain way. They don't hide it. They don't hide it. So it's one thing being a news source and saying that you're bipartisan when you're not, and then being places like, for example, the Daily Wire, where they tell you that they lean a little bit more to the right. They are more conservative, but they give you the news. They tell you. They don't lie to you. They're not going to sit there and lie to you like these people lie to you. And just put a smile on me. It's like, yeah, I'm not lying to you at all. What? I'm not lying. What? That's a lie. Oh, what is a lie? What's a lie? What's a freaking lie? So I'm going to finish with this. Probably my favorite clip out of this whole thing. I love it. This video lives in my head rent free. Because seeing Nancy Pelosi pissed off is hilarious. They act like children. They like watching this video was like watching little children argue. You see, I don't even know the fool's name, but he's like, all right, I'm gonna introduce Nancy Pelosi, and he's like walking around like he doesn't know where he's going. Children, absolute children. Okay, here is Nancy Pelosi.
Let me introduce Speaker Pelosi.
I literally think they look like kids.
Oh, these cowardly senators who couldn't.
It's my favorite. Oh my gosh, that's my favorite part.
And what was at stake for our country are now going to have a chance to give a little slap on the wrist.
Okay. What was at stake for our country? What was at stake for our country? I don't understand. What was at stake? Because you've lost the stake. You've lost it. So what unfathomable, despicable thing is going to happen now? Like what? Like what would have happened? It would have been a lot worse if they won this. If they won this, they would have used this to absolutely destroy conservative content across the media and across the internet. All the way. If they won this could have been really bad for 1A, First Amendment, freedom of speech. Because that's what they're doing. That's what this whole thing's about. One, for President Trump to not be able to run again in 2024, and to absolutely destroy the First Amendment. Because that's always a good thing, right? It's always a good thing when the government tells you not to do something, tells you that you can't say something. I don't understand this line of thinking. Why everyone, all the lefties, they're like, government's corrupt. the government's corrupt. The government is corrupt. The system is corrupt. The system is corrupt. And then they tell you to do something, and you go, yes, daddy. Yes, 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 whatever you say, yes, yes. Like, come on. How are you going to say the system's corrupt and then do exactly what they say all the time? It makes no sense to me. It literally makes no sense to me. I don't understand how this line of thinking works. It is so inconsistent, so intellectually inconsistent, it blows my mind. How a whole group of people can say that the system is corrupt and then absolutely bend the knee every single time they tell them to. I don't understand. Which is it? Is the government corrupt? Or are they not corrupt? Because you act like they're not. You listen to them like they're not. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
We censure people for using stationery for the wrong purpose. We don't.
Look at that. What's up with this dude in the left? He's. Can I say that he's smiling? Probably. His eyes look like they're squinting like he's smiling. He's just like, yeah, you lost, guy. You lost.
Inciting insurrection that kills people in the Capitol.
That kills people in the Capitol. So does 6 months of riots. But you don't seem to have anything to say about that. She's so mad. I love this.
It had not been my intention to come to this press availability, however tempting it would be to sing the praises of our House managers.
Favorite video. She's mad. You can tell she's mad because she hit her podium. It reminds me of children. It really does. They look like kids. They look like mad-ass little kids that didn't get their way. And now they're acting like children, and it's hilarious, and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Funniest thing ever. These people don't care about you. Stop thinking that they do. The government doesn't care about you. Stop thinking that they do. Okay, I've ranted on enough. This has been another episode of the Evening Talk Show. And remember, think critically. Open your eye and don't be afraid to be brave. God bless.